What is up, everybody? Welcome to Division 2B Chaos featuring the CCA League. We got a great one for y'all here as both teams fighting to keep their playoff hopes alive. Of course, Vermillion Tides coming off of the amazing 7-game set. They now take on their next team, Squids at Cal of UC Berkeley. I'm Kiln. I am joined by Elixir, UCF player as well. We got a fun matchup ahead of us, Elixir. I hope you're excited as I am for this one.
Yeah, I mean, last set was quite phenomenal, but I mean, I'm wondering how Vermillion Tides is going to be playing since, I mean, they dealt with all game 7, so they could be a little bit mentally fatigued.
Yeah, we're all hoping that the 30-minute break in between the sets is going to help their cause here as we're about to queue into the first map of this one. This is going to be the week 3 map list for this rescheduled one, and we got Rainmaker on Brinewater Springs. Quite the map combination here, Elixir. What can you tell us about that?
Oh man, I love Brinewater Rainmaker. All the choices that could have been made for Brinewater, but I mean, the whole idea of this map is going to be just grab the Rainmaker and just keep on taking it, just a cold aggression. Because as soon as you let up, it's going to be very easily punished.
Definitely, and this is also a map that heavily favors a lot of backline weapons. Definitely based on how Brinewater is in general. Though because it is Rainmaker, I wouldn't be surprised if both teams try to be a little bit more aggressive, attacking the Rainmaker down the middle, and then try to see if they can get that first checkpoint right out of the gate. So really, both teams have a lot of ways to approach this.
Yeah, I definitely. I mean, with the aggressive nature of Rainmaker, I mean, the Charger players and other backlines may be good, but I mean, but shooters and things that can invade the base is probably the one to actually watch out for.
Definitely, and we're about to queue in for map 1 of this best of 7 between the two Division 2B teams. Again, winner of this set keeps their playoff hopes alive. Loser is out. So both teams have a lot to play for as they're queuing into this rescheduled game, and we are seeing some very fascinating weapons. Elixir, and the Neo Sploosh is here.
I know I mean, Neo Sploosh can work. I mean, you got I believe Squids at Cal playing a very aggressive comp, just making sure that you can lay beacons down. But I mean, they've already lost Pop, and there was already 2 down, hoping that to get that first checkpoint.
Yeah, but the Rainmaker just stuck a little further behind. They just finally pick it up, and they're able to push right up ahead with it. This should be the first checkpoint coming in here shortly for what appears to be Vermillion Tides. Sam is going to get 1, though, and the second member drops. So despite getting the first checkpoint, they drop 3. It's going to be a Rainmaker charge going the other way.
Yeah, and this immediately shows the very aggressive nature of Brinewater Rainmaker. Is once you lose players, it's very easy to punish, because look how close it is to the checkpoint. It's almost right there.
Definitely, and the Rainmaker just stopped right before they were able to slam home. Said you don't get the first checkpoint, that would be Squids at Cal not getting the first checkpoint right now. And now we're going to see the aggression, the painting going against Squids at Cal. There's 3 members down, but so it was 2. But they pick up the Rainmaker anyway, though. They're going to be okay. Okay, at the very least, Gem trying to fight, and the Hammer cannot find one. Blukachi and the others trade, but this is looking to favor Vermillion Tides at this point here, and they're still pushing far up ahead. 2 members do drop though by the end of all this, and the Rainmaker does find Austin, but can they keep pushing up ahead? The Rainmaker finds 2. They're kind of going down, and then the Rainmaker finds 3rd, but shut down by the Killer Whale. They don't get any points on that one, but at least the Rainmaker gets some flashing plays with it.
Yeah, I mean, that was amazing Rainmaker play. I mean, if you could have a Rainmaker as your main weapon, that would have been an excellent showcase. It's just that the Rainmaker may have gotten those picks, but they should have probably lead in with their other weapons.
Definitely, and we're seeing once again back to trade here. 3 members down, and it is going to be the tactical is being popped up now. This is the only person there who actually popped the tactical error on the side of Squids and Cal, so it's only going to be the one person picking it up. The rest of the team should be able to follow it up shortly here. Now they can play a little bit more aggressive if they choose to do so, but however, 2 members do drop. The Rainmaker nearly resetting, but picked up at the last moment by Vermillion Tides, and one of the members does drop. Now we see the Rainmaker and the rest of the team supporting in. 2 members down on Squids at Cal, but they get shut down. Vermillion Tides push gets shut down, that is. So a good hold decently for Squids and Cal, but there's still some contesting going on with the Rainmaker.
Yeah, I mean, these 2 teams have been fighting out for this Rainmaker. And I mean, we got 2 minutes left, and they barely made it past like the checkpoint area. So I mean, we just have to make the 2 teams have to somehow make an aggressive push, either through specials or something.
Definitely, I think both these teams, they definitely want to try to get the specials farmed out as much as they can. Try to get some of those coordinations in play here. Now we're coming down to the last around minute 40 seconds to go on this particular push. Though 2 members of Vermillion Tides do drop, so this could be the opening for Squids and Cal that they need. Squids and Cal with the wipeout, but the Rainmaker resets. That is a very fortunate Rainmaker reset there. Vermillion Tides is able to buy themselves just a little bit of time, but it is going to be the checkpoint though for Squids and Cal. Both checkpoints have been broken.
Yeah, and we now see that Squids have now taken the Rainmaker and is going for the Mad Lad play.
Thank God they got so many points. It was a bold maneuver by Lukachi from Squids at Cal, but they were able to turn that into more points, and they're stopping up this Rainmaker. They're getting even more points on this one. Vermillion Tides cannot get defended correctly there, but 3 members do drop, though. This at least holds it a little bit there. Raphael drops, and right now it's just a stalemate here, but now with Vermillion Tides, they're down by a lot, but it's still manageable, but they have to make sure that they can get this Rainmaker push going. Timing is going to be key, especially with the Rainmaker. The Rainmaker resets.
Yeah, I mean, that was good defense, but now Vermillion Tides has to go for a very strong power play in the last 30 seconds. And in order to do that, you need some specials up, but as you can obviously tell from the top of the screen, there are no specials. So, yeah, there's going to be very hard play.
Yeah, but Squids and Cal, I think, trying to go for the move where they're trying to stall it out as much as they can, but the rest of the Vermillion Tides, they might be able to corner them. They do corner them. This should be the overtime here coming in shortly for Vermillion Tides. Again, if the overtime holds, yes, but there's barely enough time. They do pick up the Rainmaker. Now we got to see if Vermillion Tides, if they have a response. Raphael popping the Zip Caster right now, but getting shut down just now, and it is 2 members down for Vermillion Tides. Squids and Cal with a nice hold there. The Rainmaker playing very defensively, which is the smartest thing you can do at this point. But there's just so much incoming in from Squids at Cal that is trying to shut that down. Blukachi gets a few. The Crab Tank is going to get shut down as well. The Rainmaker's just going to get cornered at this point, and it's just an escape route, but it's only going to end, maybe for a little bit more, and it is going to end right there, and that will be the map being won by, I believe, Squids at Cal by the end of all this.
Yeah, but I mean, whoever was grabbing a Rainmaker, I mean, they were playing very good. I mean, Squid rolling shots and making sure to keep themselves alive as much as possible. I mean, the only thing that could have went wrong for Vermillion Tides was that their players were a little bit too far apart from Rainmaker, and they allowed the Squids at Cal to go and collapse in on them.
Definitely, and I gotta commend both these teams here. They take a lot of back and forth, but what really broke things wide open, just a very bold move by Squids at Cal. I believe one of the members, I think that was Bukachi, that picked up the Rainmaker right after the first checkpoint. They gained so many more points, despite despite swimming in so much of that ink there by Vermillion Tides, just able to navigate around by the end of all that, and just able to turn that into so many more points by the end of it. It's just excellent maneuvering around, and it was almost just a great escape artist play there by Squids at Cal to get even to put it down to 22 points remaining.
Yeah, I mean, you typically, competitive, you shouldn't be able to get away with something like that, but it does happen sometimes where you can just like pop Rainmaker and just start taking it and hoping that no one sees you as you just run on by.
Definitely. But now we finish off that Brine Water Rainmaker map. Now we start moving on to Eeltail Alley Clam Blitz for the rest of Vermillion Tides. They have maybe remembering Eeltail Alley in that game 7 there, but now it's a different map mode combination altogether. They got to deal with clams. What can you tell us about this map combination?
Yeah, I mean, they're probably still thinking that, you know, Bridge is still good, and Bridge is very much still good. But I'm curious to see how they're going to go and probably use their crabs and other powerful specials in order to displace the enemy and make sure they have a room to start scoring clams on. Because you need to make sure you secure a pretty wide section of a little bit of bridge and underneath the bridge in order to be fully protected.
Definitely nice, and I'm wondering how both these teams, knowing the terrain of Eeltail Alley itself, how that's gonna lend to some more different weapons, possibly, or different strategical play between the two maps. We saw with Brine Water how wide open that is, which allows for so much more aggression coming out of either of these teams. And I'm gonna be curious to see how they want to approach this Eeltail Alley Rainmaker, where you might see a lot more backline choices, maybe some others in mind. I'm gonna be. Do you think that we could see some different choices from both these teams?
Yeah, I expect we won't see the Neo Sploosh again, because I mean, but hey, I could be proven wrong as we go and see these lineups here.
I mean, the Neo Sploosh might be a very fascinating choice if we do get to see it. As we're about to queue in right now. Well, we did mention that this could be a very backline interesting choice. I'm actually curious here from Squids at Cal or UC Berkeley here. Some major changes on their side, but notably the Nautilus and the Splat Roller as well. Yeah,
I mean, they're still going for a fairly aggressive play, but the Tri-String allows the air weapons to combo with each other and just start laying on a bunch of chip damage.
Yeah, actually, things just start off with a delayed wipe, actually, here, and Squids at Cal already cashing in on so many clams. It's down to 47 points remaining here, and it's a very fast push. They're getting even more. All things considered, it's 38 points remaining. We 13 more clams for the KO if they're able to even get that many, but it is going to be a good stop there by Vermillion Tides. Fast push thanks to the delayed wipe, leading to a huge lead. Vermillion Tides already with a huge deficit.
Yeah, but you can see that the Vermillion Tides is trying to prep for for their own play of their own, but they need to be able to work together in a little bit more of a coordinated setting because they're kind of grouped up right now.
Definitely, and now the coordination has to start being key, especially with everything else in mind there. This is going to be a very quick push. Actually, it's already to 60 points remaining. Here's a quick power clamp toss. Beautiful play from Vermillion Tides to make it more manageable. They might be able to snipe the lead, and they do. Well, Vermillion Tides, they see Squids as Cal push and say, well, we can do the exact same way. Let's push it the other direction, and they turn it to 34 points remaining. Already a quick back and forth between these two teams. These pushes are coming by fast, Lixel.
Yeah, I mean, there may be some point deficit between other teams, but I mean, the sheer skill between these two schools is showing that it doesn't matter how good your leads is. I mean, they're just as good, and they can easily come back from whatever leads or disadvantages that they may have.
Now we do see the power clam right now on the side of Kami there. Kami immediately goes down. They were able to take out 3 members. They might be able to turn this into a push of their own. Nice throw there, and it gets them. And it gets them the push there. It's already down to 11 points remaining. 4 more for the KO if Squids at Cal or UC Berkeley is able to find them. They're able to take out 2 members right now. The power clam is gonna seal it, and Squids at Cal with the KO on map 2.
Yeah, I mean. That was very fast of just making sure to keep them staggered, because I mean that Nautilus just tried to hold a good power position, just keeping sure that they can't do a good flank and just be able to feed in those nearby clams, either from the bridge section or the ones that are slightly in mid.
I think that was a great adaptation there from Squids at Cal UC Berkeley there. They won the first map for sure, and now the second one, they played very well to their strengths. Some Splat Roller and many other weapons just proving to be a big thorn for Vermillion Tides, and it's just one of those cases where where Squids at Cal, they take out several members on some of these key pushes. It very clearly, once they see that 3 or 4 members via delayed wipeout, what happened there, all they need to do, the call there, get the power clan spawned in, get that push going, and then completely follow suit. These pushes were so fast between both these teams, but at the end of all that, though, Squids at Cal, UC Berkeley are able to just take this one home.
Yeah, I mean, I think what it is that some of them are playing a little bit too defensive, but I mean, honestly, it's not going to be that hard to probably, make up for that, because due to some of the aggressive plays, I mean, you could probably bomb spam the Squids and Cal from the objective, maybe, but it's going to be very hard because they need to be able to work together and try to coordinate those kind of bombs, because in that last match, they had a machine and they had a T-Tech so you can easily have some pressure. It's just that no one was able to follow up.
And for Vermillion Tides, you get the sense that you're now 2-0 down. You have to fight for your playoff life here in Division 2 as they now have to start preparing for Manta Maria zones being the third map here. We do see Manta Maria coming in from Splatoon 2, though they expanded the street there a little bit. But for zones may not play a huge factor, all things considered. What would you like to see from Vermillion Tides Elixir if they want to find themselves back in this?
So, I mean, for Vermillion Tides, I kind of want to see them play a little bit more of a backliney or defensive thing, because what you need to do is mainly just secure one zone and worry about the other zone later. Although I would love to see their T-Tech come back.
T-Tech very solid choice in Manta Maria zones, especially when you start factoring a lot more aggression. You can start farming up those triple link strikes, either to take zone or to zone out the rest of Squids at Cal from making any pushes up ahead. And for Squids at Cal, they definitely want to try to continue this momentum. They're up 2-0 in the set over Vermillion Tides, looking to see if they can make this 3-0 and try to be a step closer to keeping their playoff dreams alive here. And I'd be really excited to see how both these teams, how they want to approach this map altogether.
Yeah, and I mean, we'll see. We'll be able to figure out what kind of play style they're probably going to go for once we see these lineups coming up right about now.
Yeah, we're gonna see how both these teams play. So, I actually like this change that I'm seeing here with Vermillion Tides with the Explo. That is a gold arrow spray, my friend. A gold arrow spray is now online. Yeah, no, Squids at Cal have been going for these random weapons that are very good, but take definitely some player skill along with team's skill in order to use correctly. As we see that this arrow spray did just try to displace the Vermillion Tide bunker in order to keep their space, and now they have full control of the zone. You have full control of the zone, just a small interruption there as Vermillion Tides were able to neutralize some of that. They did take down 2, but not enough to fully wipe out the rest of the other members there. The Splat Roller, now a new variant this time, the Crack on Splat Roller, just to make a quick note here. Vermillion Tides are able to flip it the other way at this point, though. The Expo does drop, but they were able to put Squids at Cal at some minor penalty points, all things considered. There's a lot of back and forth between both these teams. They do want to retake mid, and Squids at Cal gets both these zones back. Yeah, I mean, Squids at Cal has been playing very aggressive, and it doesn't seem like the Vermillion Tides are able to figure out how to fight against this too well. As two go down on both sides as they're coming, as Squids at Cal are just constantly launching themselves at the enemy side. The Vermillion Tides at least able to neutralize both these points. You just got to get the other zone at least to put Squids at Cal or UC Berkeley trying to make sure that they get some major penalty points. And it's just a lot of fighting between the two teams, but 2 members dropping on Vermillion Tides is going to help Squids at Cal push a little further right now. And now with Squids at Cal able to take both of these zones at this point in time and getting the decent control of mid. Sure, they are losing a little bit of one of the zones there, at least from a neutral standpoint, but they're still keeping both of them capped. And Vermillion Tides, they just have to find a response. The Stamper, the Expo, and the T-Tech all going on a delayed triple. Things are looking very good for Squids at Cal right now.
Yeah, I mean they need to work group up together right now, but they're still separated in half,
Oh my.
and that's the game.
Squids at Cal making quick work of Vermillion Tides here. Some minor penalty points, they didn't phase them too much. And Squids at Cal at match point. Once again, if they win this set, they stay alive for playoffs. Vermillion Tides now not having to win the next four to keep their playoff hopes alive. A very daunting task now, but match point nevertheless for Squids at Cal.
Yeah, I mean Vermilion Tides right now probably are feeling somewhat exhausted and probably are still trying to figure out we won our last set. What's going on right now? Are we having issues? Like are we tired or is it just more like just constantly thinking something's up pretty much? It's hard to put into words.
I definitely get you there, but we don't have. But there could be some signs of exhaustion, or Squid that Cal playing at the top, pretty much at the top of their game at this point in time. But nevertheless, Squid that Cal just making a lot of these maps work in their favor. They got KOs in this map and in the previous map already. They're just on a tear as we're about to queue into map 4, excuse me. Undertow Spillway Tower Control match point again for Squids at Cal. What do you like to see from both these teams with this map combination?
For this, I love to see Raphael on the Vermillion Tides do some like off angle pushes as defense as off angle stuff and defensive specials are typically very good for Undertow Tower Control, where you kind of, due to the height of how tower is and how weird it is, a lot of aggressive specials find a difficulty on being able to hold a good, strong position. But the off-angle ones are able to go typically like rest up on like the glass section and just invade the other side.
Definitely, and especially with glass being some factors, you could actually really start to see both these teams completely surprise the other based on how they play the map around Undertow, Spillway, Tower Control, things consider their elixir. Before we talk further about this map, I'm just gonna put a preface here in terms of the stats here. For both the sets wins that Squids at Cal has been pretty much they had to play all set maps. It ends with 4-3 victories for Squids at Cal. On the flip side, they on all their losses has been 4-0 sweeps against them. Squids at Cal looking to buck the trend and reschedule week here with looking to see if they can make it 4-0. Vermillion Tides looking to make sure that they can prolong the set to keep their playoff hopes alive. Elixir, this is going to be a pivotal map for both these teams.
Yeah, I mean, it's really is, again, in the beginning of what the stream said, was like, it's whoever wins determines the playoffs, pretty much. So we see no real changes to the comps. What do you think about that?
I mean, the big things I've noted here, the sloshing machine, notably from Squids at Cal, at least you still have the Booyah Bomb there, and the V-Shot adaptation from Vermillion Tides looking to take advantage of the Trizuka, especially with this map. I actually really like that change from Vermillion Tide, but now you gotta see if you can get those advantages and try to see if you can take full advantage of the Trizuka, all things considered. Right now, Squids at Cal already entering the first checkpoint there, and they are already pushing far up ahead. We do see right now, though, they're put it at 92 points remaining. A lot of ink wheel usage from Vermillion Tides, all things considered. The crab tank was popped, but the Booyah Bomb to protect the push. Squids at Cal trying to make a fast push happen.
Yeah, I mean, Squids at Cal are just laying on the aggression, but I mean, the Vermillion Tides were also at 92, and they were able to hold quite strong for a little bit. But now it's just Raphael kind of by themselves, and they needed their teammates to come in before they start being able to punish Squids at Cal.
Definitely. Oh, the Splat Bomb, I've noticed, taking out 2 members, and you're starting to see the Zip Caster trying to fly in. That's looking to be Raphael trying to find any picks that they have. They at least saw it out for just a tiny bit, but the tower is still being occupied. Blukaji stays in the tower. What on earth? Able to prolong it there for just a bit for Squids at Cal to just jump in and then see if they can collapse on the rest of Vermillion Tides. This tower is still in this direction, and there is indeed a DC. I was wondering what was going on there, but the DC has been played, and it ends with a wipeout.
Yeah, I mean, that was very unfortunate because of how the points is. It's just you gotta figure out some way to play it out and just making sure that you can punish that. But that was an excellent Trizuka shot.
The Trizuka keeps this one alive, and it looks like we are going to be seeing this one playing, especially with the points remaining here. So it looks like the rest of Vermillion Tide still trying to play this one out. 3v4 situation, though, in the last 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Though not impossible, they have to now start playing this one perfectly. Just to note with the DC, they lose the T-Tech, so this might throw a wrinkle in some of their plans.
Yeah, especially since now they have to be so more reliant on just the shot and the splash to actually do stuff. I mean, Raphael is definitely going in for these kills, but it's still usually an off-angle weapon, so it's going to be very interesting to see how this is going to work.
I'm actually very impressed right now because Vermillion Tides were able to take out a few members right now. The triple ink strike is coming out here shortly. The 2 members have dropped, which is just going to spell the end of this push. They put it down to 60 points remaining. They are playing this 3v4 not too badly, actually. Vermillion Tide still definitely keeping their hopes alive at the very least, knowing that fact that, yeah, you are a man down, but we still gotta play our hardest. This is still our division hopes here, riding on this game, and Squids are just trying to make sure that they can shut any of that from happening. 2 members dropping, though, for Vermillion Tides, only the 1 alive, and that's the Stamper. The Stamper finds a couple, but it goes down but it should buy enough time for the rest of Vermillion Tides to spawn right in.
Yeah, but Vermillion Tides is now kind of in a stagger as they're coming in one after the other and just having these 1v4s or 1v3s is where it's just really hard to fight against this.
Yeah, and it's starting to show. The 3v4 ends like that, and Squids of UC Berkeley completes the 4-0 sweep over Vermillion Tides. Vermillion Tides has been eliminated from playoffs in Division 2.
They played very well, but Squids of Cal were just playing slightly better, with just slightly more aggression than Vermillion Tide could handle.
Definitely just Squids of Cal just had a very convincing map 2 and map 3, all things considered, and it ends with the sweep there, but it looks like something might be brewing on the other side here. Just waiting to see how this plays out. Maybe things might change. Maybe I'm jumping the gun here. But let's but while we are waiting for stuff to happen right there, Elixir, I mean, with this game in mind, really, Squids of Cal, they had a lot of fast pushes. There were some really good holds from Vermillion Tides when they had all 4 members up there. And I'm actually was very impressed with how that fast push all started out there for Squids of Cal the rest of the way. Yeah,
I mean, they were able to be able to group together and and make sure that there's someone on different sides of the tower, but also everyone was kind of essentially shooting distance from each other while around the tower. So, I mean, they could have been grouped together, could have been taken out, but because they were all so close together, they could find whatever person came to the tower first and just be able to just ensure that it's only going to be a 1v4 pretty much.
Definitely, and honestly, even with the DC, it was still a very valiant effort from Vermillion Tides, but notably Elixir at the latter end of it. You saw the Stamper and the Trizuka just being played so well, but again, they were just quickly dropping members. Squids of Cal had to make sure they just quickly regroup and try to make something happen. All things considered, and realize, oh wait, we are starting to lose a little bit of leeway, so we got to play a lot more defensively and make sure that we clean up the other 3 before they have a chance to somehow sneak that push from under us.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Squids of Cal were constantly just making sure they knew where everyone was, because I mean, due to how good Raphael was playing that Stamper, I mean, if you don't watch out for them, they could have easily just gotten that a quad possibly, because I mean, they were the last one alive, and you were able to make sure that they held good positions.
Definitely, and we're actually still waiting to hear an update on this fourth map here before things get called here. So while we are waiting for further updates and some confirmations as to what ends up happening here, I'm gonna look. So this is gonna be a good time for us to start recapping the first 3 maps here in the set. We saw the massive back and forth between these two teams, especially in Brinewater Rainmaker, was gonna almost set the pace between these two teams, but then we start to see the second map and the third map, and Squids at Cal, they were starting to clean a lot of their plays up. Sure, there was some clear back and forth in the second map in Eeltail clans, but then once they got the KO, they were just absolutely rolling in those first 3.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for Brown War, I mean, there was a back and forth, but I mean, it was very hard for both teams to try and make a good, strong push. But I mean, Squids and Cal were able to use their momentum to push further into the next match, which was the EOTO Clan Blitz, which pretty much was playing a little bit more patiently, but ensured a good, strong push and made sure to not overextend, but also keep the basket open, because that's how you get a good clam blitz match, is just having that slowly feeding in clams and keeping that timer ticking down. And then finally on the Flat Zones Manta Maria, I mean, Squids and Cal finally found their strong footing and were able to just, once they took someone down, they just engage the next person, one after another, and made sure to keep trying to get those delays.
Definitely, and Squids like hell were just absolutely rolling their way through for a good chunk of it, as you mentioned, with the Clan Blitz map and everything else considered here. I'm gonna quickly just jump ahead here, Elixir. So I mentioned at the beginning of this cast we had Division 2B being the absolute group of chaos. I just want to make a quick note of the standings here. This group in general has been very competitive from, I think, the first few maps. Previously, 5th and 6th place, which shouts to Octos and Squids United and Tax Collectors, by the way, for both of these teams. The 5th and 6th place finished with 2 wins. That's still a very competitive division, all things considered. And right now, where we currently stand, Old Bay Brigade at the top of that standings with 3 match wins. It's just an absolute group of chaos that we saw overall between all the teams here in this group.
Yeah. I mean, the Division 2, honestly, it shows a kind of the CCA, the mood or tone of the whole league, where it's pure competitiveness between multiple schools.
Definitely, and we do have confirmation. The DC have been right around the 50-point marker, and we have received news that they're going to replay this 4th map. So not quite the sweep yet. We get to see both teams duke it out again in Undertow Spillway Target Troll. So set not fully called yet. It's still 3-0 for Squids and Cal UC Berkeley. And it's still match point for them. So the current scenario still applies back. Hopefully we get to see some interesting changes here in this 4th map. And hopefully for Squids at Cal, make sure you don't lose too much of that momentum that you had from the previous map wins.
Yeah, but I mean, since this is pretty much a rematch of a pretty good game between the two teams, I mean, Squids at Cal are going to be we know what worked. We're going to try and see if we can make that work again. Well, Vermillion Tide's going to see their last match as okay, that was just prep. We now know how they're probably going to play this match, so we can probably punish them.
Yeah, and it looks like both these teams sticking to the script here, which makes sense for both these teams. Now we're underway, trying to see if where both these teams go. Again, Vermillion Tide's looking to win this one to stay alive and hopefully stay alive in the set and for their playoff hopes here. Squids like hell looking to shut the door right now. We do see for both these teams a lot of fight happening, but Raphael and the T-Tag drops already. It's 2 down on Vermillion Tides. Make that the 3rd member dropping. This push coming in shortly for Squids at Cal.
Yeah, I mean, it was very hard to see, but I mean, in that play time when 2 went down, I mean, was a 2v2 between the two teams until a third person from Squid at Cal came in and made it into a 2v3, which allowed them to go and get some picks. But we now see Raphael coming in, making sure to try to prevent Squids and Cal from getting any more points.
They took out 3 members. This is just looking very strong right now for Squids at Cal. UC Berkeley looking to keep this one going. They made it to the 3rd checkpoint, but not able to quite break it. The Crab Tank denying some of that from happening there. Now the rest of Vermillion Tides trying to stop the onslaught, but a flank from behind. The Neo Splash takes out the Crab Tank. What a find! But 2 members have dropped, though. All things considered for Squids at Cal. Vermillion Tide at least forces the tower to reset.
Yeah, I mean, that was an excellent flank from the Splash where, you know, no one would ever expect that really coming in. And if anything, it would have been better maybe if that Neo Splash actually stayed in the enemy base a little bit longer. But I mean, they're doing quite well. But Squids at Cal are still being watching out for all the enemies and making sure that they don't get a good lead.
Yeah, and right now Squids at Cal looking to keep this push going. They were able to take out 3, which is the reason why this push is still going the way it is. Members are trained on both these sides though, but this might favor the rest of Vermillion Tides. But they may have broken this one just a little bit, not quite, but they're able to get through. Not quite the 3rd checkpoint, but at least putting it down to 14 points remaining. So a lot more points still secured for Squids at Cal on that ongoing push. Vermillion Tide still having to play from the back foot, but they do take out 2 members. Maybe this might be their time to start painting on their territory, making sure that they don't give Squids at Cal any opportunity to retake the tower, and then try to make sure that Vermillion Tides doesn't have any chances left. Yeah,
I mean, Vermillion Tides is playing this very well, just making sure that the area in front of the Squids at Cal spawn is completely their color, to make sure that, you know, they can't really have a good way to move in and try to take the tower. But this could be. Things are not looking too well for Vermillion Tides. The 2 went down and now currently respawning.
Still respawning right now, but we do, at the very least, we do see specials online. All things considered, the Killer Whale does get popped. Oh no! The T-Tech drop. They had their special there, so I think that's gonna be the Triple Lightning Strike slightly delayed. That would have been very nice for Vermillion Tides to see if they want to make that happen. And I do see a delayed triple there. The Roller trying to make sure that they deny the Squid Jump that's gonna be incoming here, but drops to a lower ground, which at least forces the trade. This has been a little bit of a brawl there, but we do see 2 down back on Vermillion Tides. Now 2 down the other way as well. This back and forth might be favoring all the other teams. Just absolute brawling from both these teams so far. Vermillion Tides, at least, they stay on the tower in the interim.
Yeah, I mean, they're just constantly trying to figure out who has which space, as they're just trading back territory and just making sure that, you know, we have this space and then we will use it. But as soon as that happens, I mean, there's usually some sort of punish that ends up taking the enemy territory back. So, I mean, this has been very interesting to see.
Still plenty of time, but you don't want to start, but you definitely don't want to panic if you are Vermillion Tides, and they're definitely showing signs that they're trying to stay as composed as they can in around the last 45 seconds of this map. They know that they're planning to play from behind, but members of Squids at Cal are dropping right now. They're entering the 2nd checkpoint. Vermillion Tides, they need to hold on to the 2nd checkpoint and this push that they still want to have a chance. Raphael trying to flank from the back though, noticing that Austin's right there, trying to get the backline out of there. It's 2 members down, it's 3 members down, it's a delayed wipe. Squids at Cal with the biggest hold. Maybe this could be the game-winning hold there, but we gotta see if Vermillion Tides has one last breath left.
Yeah, I mean, Vermillion Tides needs to go all in for the aggression, but it's going to be very hard to fight against 4 specials, and especially when 3 go down.
3 going down. This is likely going to spell the end of Vermillion Tides' ideas. The sloshing machine going down and trying to give at least some semblance of respite, and it's not going to be enough. And this time, Squids at Cal of UC Berkeley completes the sweep. 4-0 over Vermillion Tides. Squids at Cal stays alive in the playoff race. Vermillion Tides is out.
Yeah, I mean, Vermillion Tides played very well for quite a while, just making sure that Squids at Cal really couldn't have a good space to move. And the shot player, I mean, those are some wild Trizuka shots being able to arc like that.
some of those wild shots from Vermillion Tides there. I gotta give credit to the V shot there that, from Vermillion Tides. Can't recall who had that weapon right away, but they found some nice shots with the Trizuka. Definitely taking advantage of all the terrain that they, and the aiming that Undertale Spillway had to offer to them. It just wasn't enough at the tail end of it. Squids at Cal once again continuing to be a step ahead in this Undertale Spillway tower control map, and it pretty much spelled the end of Vermillion Tide's hopes there. And Squids at Cal stays alive in this playoff race. They have to wait for the result of what I believe will be Open Brigade versus UFO at some point. But congratulations, really, to Squids at Cal of UC Berkeley. And we do see what could be a CCA tradition. They wanted to hold there for a quick second there, but all things considered, though, yeah, congratulations to Squids at Cal of UC Berkeley to winning that set overall.
Yeah, and I think, yeah, no, we're getting confirmation that I think they're going to try playing a few more games against the two teams. And I've been told that the comps for the next round are going to be very interesting. Unfortunately, they won't tell us what it is going to be, though.
Oh, absolutely not. They're keeping it a secret here. And we might be seeing either a CCA tradition, maybe a modified version of the CCA tradition. Oh dear, this is slightly modified, ain't it?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Most of these silly comps didn't come out on Game 7, but I mean, they're playing on Game 5. I mean, it's not unheard of, but I mean, you know that these two teams definitely respect each other and want to just, try to have some good old fun while playing this a little bit competitively.
I'm gonna need a confirmation from the production and the rest of CCA chat here. This might be the first time I'm seeing Turf War in a CCA stream in quite some time here. I'm noticing this right now. It's Inkblot Art Academy Turf War. They're cooking up something amazing here. I'm waiting to see what both teams are trying to cook up here, especially if this is Turf War. I think everybody in chat, please hold on. Get your thinking caps on. What do you think what do you think both these teams are trying to throw at us?
I mean, in my opinion, I think that these people are trying to throw us like a little sneak peek of what CCA could be if we had like essentially a Proton Splat League here.
Shout outs to the Proton Splat League and throwing me off there a little bit there, Elixir. But all things considered, not sure where to continue with that. All things all mentioned there. Thanks for the incredible shout out. Okay, what might be the first time ever a Turf War map being played in this CCA League. For me, I can't have it any other way, of course, but for others, this might be exciting. What on earth are they dishing up? Oh my goodness.
I don't even know what to say to this. We got big swings.
It's big swing. It's big swing time, everybody. The big swigs are here. The big swig legion is here to take all of them. And the rest of Vermillion Tides are just trying to say no to all of your shenanigans at this time of the day. The Big Swig Legion here is trying to take you. It's here to tell you that Big Swigs are the way forward for roller gameplay.
Yeah, but actually what I'm seeing is I think one was a Dynamo player just from the icon. So it's not actually a quad Big Swig, but 3 Big Swigs and a Dynamo.
I mean, the Dynamo can definitely cosplay as a Big Swig, all things considered. We gotta let the Dynamo have their fun. I think now we could pretend that there's a team full of Big Swigs, but we have to combine both teams together here for this insanity that is Big Swig Nation. All things considered, a lot of fighting for both these two. These two teams are having so much fun right now, just messing with the roller comps that we're seeing right now.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the Big Swig players are probably doing much better though because of all the recent buffs to Big Swig with increased object damage and increased kill range. As we see the two Dynamos trade with each other.
My goodness, and I've been just trying to see which one will have good ink vacuum usage. Oh, here's an ink vac. Can the ink vac find something? The Carbon Roller trying to roll their way into the ink vac. A very bold move, all things considered. But the Carbon Roller doesn't quite have enough oomph to roll over the ink vac. Going down instantly, and the Dynamo just showing off from Vermillion Tides, just showing off what they can do with this Dynamo Roller, getting 2 right there. We are seeing more ink vacuum usage happening. This is just incredible, really.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many ink vacs coming out, but none of these rollers have enough power to actually just crush anyone on it traditionally, and we can kind of see this just happening.
Yeah, come on, Carbon Roller, just for me. You gotta roll over somebody. If you get a splat by rolling over somebody, I will give you massive points. Raphael, please do it for us. Yes, Raphael, you got the Carbon Roller kill. You have won my heart already in this amazing Turf War matchup. Again, I just love to see all these rollers just out and online right now. All the 2 members going down on Vermillion Tides. I mean, if anything, the last 30 seconds, of course, very important. Which roller team will come out on top?
I mean, I have my bets on the whoever has the more big squids is going to be the winner. But, I mean, and I think it's starting to look that way, but you never know how it could end until, like, the last moments.
Yeah, it is typical Turf War. Squids at Cal, they have won this Turf War matchup because I think I did see Vermillion Tides in danger for all of that, but I'm gonna give credit to both teams for this win. They have won all of the hearts of me, maybe and you, probably production, and then CCA chat, all things considered. What a beautiful Turf War match I've witnessed today.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I didn't vocalize this, but I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed that match, especially since it also took me back to Proton Splat League, because it's seeing Turf War competitively. Sometimes it's just like, it's great.
I love seeing Turf War in any competitive in any competitive tournament. It's always so much fun. I think both teams are just calling it quits there. I think they just wanted to show off the roller games. The roller games, that for sure. I think that's I think that might be the new title of that map. All things that match, all things. So okay, but after winning our hearts, we have to reset maybe a little bit back here. Like, so very convincing set, all things considered, by Squids at Cal of UC Berkeley, getting the full map sweep. You get the sense that with each map, especially after the second map, they were starting to feel like, okay, we're at the top of our game. We can start taking down Vermillion Tides. We just got to play what we are good at.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, where they were able to start like knowing how to try to start the aggressions and just making sure that they just keep those delays just coming out, just pick after pick.
Definitely, and I mean, for Vermillion Tides, still a very good season. I mean, a 2-3 record, even though you're out of playoffs, absolutely nothing to sneeze at. We saw in that match earlier against ONSC or Ohio State going 4-3, I believe, winning that set. It took all 7 maps, so they played their hearts out, and then they won another match. I have to double check which map they won against. Oh, UFO, of course. Which, by the way, UFO and Old Bay Brigade is the other match they have to that Squids has to wait on. But Vermillion Tides, they played their hearts out almost every match this season, and it started to show right here. They just didn't have enough energy left to keep on going in, and it just spelled the end of their season. But still, definitely be proud of what you have accomplished so far in this season.
Yeah, I mean, even though you don't make playoffs, a good record, good games. I mean, that is a good way to probably move up your, possibly a division up, or making sure that you continue to be seated very high during different CCA seasons.
Definitely, and for Squids at Cal, still a chance for playoffs, but they need help from the match again. Once again, saying it like it's a broken record at this point from UFO versus Old Bay Brigade. So Division 2B will continue to be cooking up more chaos. we'll have to, and of course, only fitting that that group will wait on the last match to see how that playoff shapes out. And all that being said, Elixir, I think that is going to do it for both of us, if not mistaken. And thank you so much, Elixir, for being a co-com and part of the commentary group today. Where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter on Elixir68, where you can find some occasional, Twitter posts of me talking about my team and also about just Splatoon in general. What about you, Kyon?
Hello, I am Kyon. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch, pretty much the same username, Kyon2570. Just on Twitch, I do a variety of different things. I also do Splatoon, and then of course Twitter for all of the insanity and random nonsense I post out there. Also, thank you for shouting out the Proton Splat League because I helped TO that one as well. So, PSL, also the other league I'm gonna note that does Turf Wars. That's why I was like, so much joy in that for fun 5th map. But otherwise, rest of the CCA chat here. Stay tuned at around 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time, I believe, if I got my time zones correct. We got another matchup for y'all. It will be Stars of Orion versus Volatile Radiance in a Division 1 matchup. You don't want to miss that match. That'll be coming up here at the top of the hour. But for now, with Elixir, I'm Kyon saying thank you guys for tuning in to this amazing match between Vermillion and Squids at Cal. We'll see you guys back at the top of the hour with some new commentators.
Bye-bye.